And I'm off. It's day 30. Oh, we're in the 30s. That's exciting. This has been a rather fun stop. Really nice. I've felt very independent since no one else was here. And here's how I woke up this morning. Just waking up, and I've got my coffee and my oatmeal. I was cozy in this bed last night. I had the full run of this patio, so yesterday when the sun was out in the afternoon, I just spread out here and enjoyed myself after I got my laundry on the clothesline. So this has been a great little stop. I only have about 6 miles to go today. The reason I broke this day into two was just so that I could get back on track with my itinerary. I could have gone, the full 14 miles, 8 from yesterday and 6 from today, but it just seemed more important since I've already made arrangements for my other stops to get back on track and arrive in Trondheim on the appointed hour. So I'm heading back to the E6. Got a quick little jaunt down that road, which is a little scary because there's traffic, but I'll keep off to the side, maybe stop at the restaurant for a cup of coffee because it's only, you can see what time it is. I realized in last night's video that, I was telling you I arrived at 1 o'clock and my GPS said 12:59 on it. So 6 miles will not take me long at all. And they usually don't want you signing in much earlier than 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So we will just take our time along the way. The Circle K is really a much bigger brand here than it is at home, including Tesla superchargers right beside, full restaurants associated with them, or at least places where you can buy food. So I think I'll just stop and have a cup of tea and maybe a muffin as a second breakfast. Here's what the roof of the Circle K looked like, and the inside looks nothing like ours. Nothing like an early morning walk on a deserted road. I'm headed up to the road that I was on yesterday. I had just taken a little detour down to my lodging last night, but now I'm headed back onto that road. I had to stop and put my fleece back on because even though it's supposed to be about 7 degrees warmer, it's supposed to be low 60s today, I guess it's early enough, there's enough cloud cover that it's pretty chilly. But by the time I get up to the top of this hill, it will be starting to get warmer. Back on the flat path. This was a nice 3/4 of a mile climb to get me up to the flat path. Go through this gate, and there's our road. Building plots for sale. And yes, you're overlooking a road from a distance, but this is also what you're looking at. I wonder how many millions of kroner those plots are going for. So off with the fleece, and now it's starting to warm up. This being a slow news day, I've been saving up little things to talk with you about. And millions of kroner is probably the number one thing. Norway is extremely expensive. I think it's the most expensive of the Scandinavian countries. For instance, and this is just one thing, I was at a restaurant where, well, first of all, a cup of coffee is, I'll convert to US, is $5.50 is a cup of, just a regular cup of coffee from the thermos. And a smash burger, which was, a fancy burger, with a 1 liter Coke was $38. And that's not unusual. That's very typical. So it's extremely expensive. You just have to recognize that that's the way it's going to be. So that's one thing. Another thing that I've noticed, which I think is kind of fun, is the towels here all have a little loop either on the corner or in the middle of the short side if it's a bath towel. And many places don't have towel bars, they just have hooks. And so you just hook it on the towel bar. And that's all towels, tea towels, kitchen towels, bath towels, hand towels, all of them. And I think for the most part, it works well, except for the bath towels. The bath towels never seem to really dry out the way they should. But anyway, I'm thinking about getting a kitchen towel with the loop on it. And they literally, 100% of the towels have the loop sewn in to the edge of the towel. Another thing is the spiral staircases. You know, we're used, in the US at least, we're used to stairs going up and then you turn and you go up another flight if it's a two-story building. But a lot of the places that I've stayed have just had these spiral staircases going up. So I'll show you a picture from the hotel I was staying at in Oppdal. So you just have to, at least for me, my stomach kind of does flips when I get on that little tiny portion. And it just made me wonder why that type of stair. It must be easier to construct or something. I don't know. But many, many places have those spiral stairs. Okay, so I'm walking down my road, and on this side of the road there is a nice pilgrim table, and this way marker, they've just started, or just finished, I believe, putting in these cultural signs. There's a QR code on the way marker, and when you click on the QR code, it takes you to the pilgrim website, the Norwegian pilgrim website, which we use a lot for our trip planning and that sort of thing. And it tells you all about what it is that you're looking at. So that's pretty cool. And I believe I saw someplace that they had just finished putting up all the cultural way markers. So good for them. I hear the sheep bells beside me. Can't see the sheep. You probably can't hear them because you're hearing my footsteps, but it's kind of reassuring to know that the sheep are off there just doing their grazing out in the woods. Which brings me to the topic of cheese. Not sheep cheese, but brown cheese. If you're thinking brown cheese, I don't know that I would like brown cheese. Well, it is a national favorite, and it's quickly become a favorite of mine as well. There are different kinds, but when I was staying at one of the hostels, the host there was telling me how it's made. So it originated up north, northern Norway, and it, instead of having an enzyme in the milk which turns it into cheese like regular cheese, this is just the milk. And I guess the history goes that the old ladies had these big flat pots, and they would just stir and stir and stir for hours. And it would take, of course, the sugars in the milk would caramelize a little bit, and it would take on a caramel flavor and a caramel color. And it does taste a little bit sweet. Goes very well with the waffles that Norway is famous for. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to take any home, but I know that Trader Joe's last year in the winter had some for about a month or so. It was a seasonal item, so if it ever comes back, you might try picking some up because it really is very good. I can't believe I'm in day 30. It was just the 9th of June that I was in Oslo preparing for my first day of walking on the 10th, wondering, can I do this? Is it going to be dangerous? I wasn't really afraid that it was going to be dangerous. Will I meet other pilgrims? Oh no, look at that rain. Just all these things going through my head. And it's been so much more and better than I ever could have anticipated. Lots of challenging times, but proving to be one of the best decisions I've made in a long time. When Kelsey completed her rowing feat and arrived in Hawaii, I was just cheering her on, and she talks about doing big, scary, hard things. And I think, yep, there's something about doing a big, scary, hard thing that gets the adrenaline flowing and makes you appreciate the times when you can relax or go on autopilot for a little bit and know that you can handle those scary times too. I've been alone much of the time, but I haven't been lonely. There have been lots of things to see and do, and of course, lots to think about along the way. And we're not done yet. We've got 8 days to go, and I believe the farm that I'm going to tonight is a working farm. I'm anxious to see what this is all about and to see what the lodging is like, of course. Based on last night's adventure, I'm sure it will be lovely, and it's called Langklopp. I was just thinking, I'm about ready to sit down and rest a little bit. And here is this very cute little bench right by the stream. And a chair. I think I'll use the bench. What a great place to stop for the always popular Wassa crackers with the brown cheese and some water. There are a lot of flies here though, so probably won't be a long stay. Well, not only did it not warm up, but it started raining. It's really more of an English drizzle, you know, the kind that keeps the roses in your cheeks. So I didn't even put my backpack cover on. I've got about 1.5 miles to go, so it will be just fine. Leaving the path for a couple of kilometers, and then we will be there. Well, as it turns out, that sign was for Langklopp, but it is not for our farm. I should not have turned off. So 1 mile or so back, unfortunately, that was a downhill. So now it's an uphill to get back on the path. I thought the place was right on the path, and that's what my map showed. But then when I saw that sign, I thought, oh good, they're giving us a sign. But usually when there's a directional sign pointing to one of the lodgings, it has the little logo on it, and this one didn't. So live and learn. Well, it looks like after that little detour, we're here. Let's see if I go in here. Nope, This is obviously the stable. The sign said cozy cabin and free Wi-Fi. So that's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? So it must be down here. Well, I have the feeling that might be the cozy cabin over there. Let's see. I wonder if... Oh, there's a sign on the door. Let's check out the sign. Dear pilgrims, please come inside and find yourself a room. The rooms are to the left. There are cake and coffee in the dining area. Just push the button on the coffee machine. I will be here soon. Oh, how nice. Wow. A push of a button. Hospitality. Wow. So I'm here. And here's the time. 12:41. Oh, this was a great end to the day. Hello, horsey. Hello. What a welcome committee. Yes, you are. Oh, you got the twinkle lights on your nose. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? What a way to come in to a horse. Oh, nice. Oh, well, I haven't chosen myself a room. Let's see. Oh, my goodness, this place is huge. Let's see. And they have room for a gazillion pilgrims. Maybe this one right here. All right, so I am sure there's shared bathroom down the hall, but there is a sink here, so that's nice. And I have my sleeping bag, my down quilt. So that's what the sleeping arrangements look like. She really did mean just push the button on the coffee machine, and here's the cakes. Oh, looking forward to a little chocolate cake. And oh, we've got our pilgrim stamp right there. I need to get my passport. Obviously set up for a lot of pilgrims or a corporate conference, either one. Oh, what a nice place. I can tell it's going to be easy to relax, especially with some wildlife outside. All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap. Day 30 is in the books. And even though it was a slow news day, I feel like we got a lot of things discussed, and there'll be more tomorrow. So I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.